What's up, everybody? How's it going? New week. I missed everybody. We'll set up. I'm just gonna switch over to TV. And make sure that we have everything playing correctly. Alert box, chat box. Yeah, exactly. We're all good. Cool. Part of the Xbox Insider program, there was specifically a survey about this whole new game hub situation that Xbox has. I'll show you all their achievements and such. 19 days. I've already put 19 days of playtime into this game. My oh my. So what are we doing in this game? It's not that. It's not that. We're not even standing in that. Wait, am I standing in that land? I don't think I'm standing in that land right now. I think I'm standing in Fontaine right now, actually. Yeah, that's right. Kick me out of the death. So yeah, so where was I Thursday? Because you guys didn't get a stream for Black. Speaking of which, anybody that's in the Discord right now and realizes that there's a channel for Black, but there's also a channel for OG Xbox, that's my bad. That's my bad. When we do the stream tomorrow at 7 p.m., those videos will be slotted into the OG Xbox channel. There's no reason for a separate channel. I guess I was just tired one day when I was making that. But where was I on Thursday? So Thursday I was down in Toronto. Wanted to make a day out of going down and trying out Shake Shack in Canada. It's good. It's good. I was actually not overhyping it, but like my expectations were going a lot higher because Canada's got a higher food quality regulations than America. But when it comes to greasy burgers, you kind of need the grease. And so we're missing a little bit of that. Hello, Q. So that's what I was doing. Then also, H Mart is in Toronto, which I've never been to. So I went and checked that out. I don't know if I picked the wrong H Mart to go to in Toronto, but it was tiny as fuck. Thanks for the bit donation. Also, there was a new TNT, which is kind of like H Mart. Kinda. That opened up in Toronto. Went to try that as well. Then I had some business. Kind of the main reason why I brought me up to Toronto in the first place. The other two were just kind of fun. It's just like, we're here. We might as well do something, right? Then, where was I on Friday? Why didn't I stream on Friday? So that was another business meeting that was up in Markham, which is actually a little bit north of Toronto. I can't really discuss that meeting specifically. There's the best way I can summate it is there's a pivot coming up at Ether. We make a couple changes, slowing down some development on some things. Some things, underline that multiple times. But the results of this business pivot will actually make other things better, run smoother, and in the ultimate run faster. We just have to take this slight step back and then pivot and then go. Hey, what's up, Shinya? Yeah, we're summing things up. Yeah. So I went for that, and then since I was already up there, Markham is very majority Chinese, Asian community. And so I'm just like, great. I actually heard that there is different items at this Costco up here, so I'm going to head out to that Costco and get snacks. So I did. It's crazy. I can basically summarize it as Costco's seem to have 60% of the same stuff. The other 40% is just whatever that area needs, right? So that's what I did on Friday. Traveling this week. I am traveling this week, but it's on Wednesday, so it won't affect you guys at all. Ooh. If you are... Oh, not at the same time. I'm going to have to fix that. If you enjoy our streaming content here, and check out our recorded content, which is on YouTube at ETHERxSOCIal. I'm gonna have to fix that up because it's not clickable. And if you are ever here, not here, just missed the stream, and you're like, oh my god, I want to watch that stream, and I don't want to watch it on Twitch, hit up that X Vault, our secondary channel, over on YouTube. Just give me a second. I'm just writing down. I want that stuff to be clickable for you guys. YouTube. Links. Clickable. Yeah. But speaking of changes, obviously you've seen that those are sitting there. So they're running. That's good. Running's good. Just want to make some changes though to them. Also, I went through the pets and I redid all of the pets. I made them more adorable, or I attempted to make them more adorable. So you'll notice that, just kind of to give an example, Shinya is no longer a dog. She's now a puppy. So I tried to make them more adorable. I also fixed the petting zoo. Is it going to be a day where it's not going to work? It's already looking like it's already not working. Or it might not be working. Are you spamming it right now? Let me write this down as well. Hey, what's up, Tony? I hope you had a fantastic day and fantastic weekend. What is this? Yeah, it's looking like the time those are not working. No pets for anyone. But when they are back up and running. Pet. Is any of the commands working? Type in ! commands. See if that spits out something. Flip is not working. Commands is working. Hello, Fossilbot. We're working there. So we're looking at, when you're talking about pet, that is Stream Elements. So why is Stream Elements not working? You did lurk. Actually, let me bring this up here. No, the lurk probably won't work. Petsal is oh, the old names, yeah. Oh yeah. So the command, the overall command thing has still not been updated. I need to update that though. But thank you on that one. Try pet, not tet. It's just dad joke. Exclamation point dad joke. And we'll see. Why should you never trust a pig with a secret? Because it's bound to squeal. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, so that confirms it that terrible. That confirms it that Fossabot is working perfectly fine. It is stream elements not working. And now it's also my pad's not working. What are you doing? Here we go. Stream elements. And command list. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. Figuring those things out. Also, we're working on trying to optimize the rewards icons again. Q is making them bigger to try to fit the square. And then once I receive those, I'll start bringing some of those in as well. But yeah, so lots of changes. Updates from last week, that's done. All the changes, that's done. For people here part of Q's Discord, you heard that she's going to be merging into our Discord. We'll be handling all of her Discord services. It doesn't mean that if you're part of Q's community, it's going to look vastly different. It's not. It's not. We're going to try to make it look as simple, or at least as close to Q's Discord as we can make it. You sent one to test. Yes. Did you send it again, or are we still looking at the empty email with that one? But yeah, we're going to try to make it as close as possible to Q's Discord. We're just going to handle the whole backend for her so she can focus on interacting with you guys, and we'll take care of all the backend stuff for her. So, with all of those updates out of the way, what's going on in... I forgot that happened. Gotcha. What's going on in Genshin? So, I finished off Mizuki's story. It was decent. It was decent. By the end, it was kind of nice. It was kind of a little boring at the beginning, but it was kind of nice. It's all good. It's all good. So then, now we're moving into the dating sim aspect of Genshin. Oh, my hand is actually getting better. Craziness. Sorry, that's just a little side thing. Anyways. So yeah, so now we have to go through all of the characters here and go on dates. We're going to go on dates. They call it the Hangout event, but it's dates. I sent it, oh, yes. Yeah. Yeah. The empty email. I'm just like, wow, the subject line's perfect. We got a label for what this is, and there's nothing in here. So yeah, so we're gonna be going on dates with all these people. I'm going to be playing through each one of these just in a one-off, because you can see in the bottom of LYNETTE there it says endings reached 0 out of 5. So each dating sim has the opportunity to go to 5 different endings, which basically once you do the first time, you can kind of go back and you can do slight pivots based upon what you're saying, the gifts you give, all that type of fun stuff. We're going to go through and do one for each. I might do the pivots off stream, and then we'll do the Tribal Chronicles, which basically finishes off Genshin for us until a patch updates. And then we'll switch off to either Wuthering Waves or Zenless Zone 0. I think I might let you guys pick. Maybe we'll do maybe we should do a poll in Discord after Q's community comes in. That just to kind of like commemorate it. That would be cool. Let's do that. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with that. So, as you saw a second ago, we are working on LYNETTE. Not working on LYNETTE. That sounds a little sus. Like meow. Dear travelers, to ensure all travelers have the best possible Genshin Impact experience, our developers continue to make optimizations and bug fixes to the game based on travelers' feedback. I had no issues with that. I don't even think this is stuff we've run into. Even though a lot of this is all Natlan. We've not hit any of this stuff. Meow, yeah. An invitation from Dia. I received a commission to escort a caravan across the desert. The Nathalinese client was a pretty interesting guy, and we shared many stories, including one about the Outlander heroes who saved Natlan. Pretty awe-inspiring stuff from you there, I'll say. Once the job was done, not only did he give me a tip, but also a whole bunch of Nathalinese delicacies. Friendly fella. Considered me a fan. Who was it? I gotta say, these snacks are sure are pretty. There's almost as much color on them as my makeup box. And since I've got the rest of the day off, I'm gonna dole these out to the kids I'm subsidizing. Why not swing by if you're free? Come share your side of the story with us. I'm just as interested as any of the kids are. Well, that's cool. I almost do want to stop by. And event-wise here, we only have, what, 2 days left? Is that what they're trying to show me here? Oh, I understand that. You do like Dia. Fair. Fair. I am just tanking on this battle pass, though. I'll tell you. Oh, pillows side. Okay, where is Lynette right now? Oh. Oh, this is the pivot thing. So we've already made a choice that has brought us over here. Yeah, I'm okay. No. So it's not going to show me on the map, though? Like, where she is? Oh, it says hangout event here. But that'd be nice if they actually, like... Because when you usually go into a story, the story area, and click on a person, it takes you right to where they were. I guess when you've already started the hangout and it starts getting into the flow chart, you have to remember where you are. Got Chartreuse and Linny over here.
Lynette, you're, not at rehearsal?
You can drop the act, brother. In fact, I don't think either of us will have a need for acting anytime soon.
Why?
You should know better than to try and keep something from me. You've never been able to do that.
Twin love. Ooh, risque.
That's why I tried to distract you with the masked mime show. But I guess you're just too good.
It's kind of almost an insult how many times he tries to pull a fast one on Lynette.
This is Officer Shovras, captain of the Special Security and Surveillance Patrol. You may have met her already.
I think at this point I'd like grab him by the neck and be like, listen here, you piece of shit. Stop trying to pull it over on me. I know what you're doing. We're frickin' twins!
Nice
We
to
meet
see you.
again.
I should clarify something. Mr. Linney's here at my invitation, not the other way around. To borrow
Aggressive
your
sibling
expression,
energy.
Miss Lynette, I suppose that would make him my assistant more than anything. We've brought on Mr. Linney as a consultant in the past.
B. Aggressive.
He
B.
was
No, that's not the
instrumental in
one.
helping
That's
us
not
crack
the
a case involving a perpetrator who
phrase.
used magic tricks to commit crimes. I was hoping he'd be able to provide some valuable insight this time around as well.
Oh, also, last update that I forgot to tell you guys. This Wednesday is a new game review. If you haven't had the chance to see last Wednesday's Super Forklift 3000, make sure to check that out on YouTube. That's on ETHERxSOCIAL side. But also this Friday is a brand new OG Xbox. The third last one, actually. We're going to be moving into Xbox 360 next month.
So you've heard everything then?
That's exactly why we're here. There's always been questions surrounding the fall of the LYNETTE family. Some people even believe the House of the Hearth was involved.
Quick question to the people that are in the stream. When it comes to the OG Xbox, do you like the fact that it's continue one game, choose from 2 games? Or do you think it should be choose 3 games? You want to see 3? Stick with the 2? I'm just kind of curious.
Whoever was behind it all was extremely cautious. They didn't leave a shred of evidence. This very fact, however, leads me to believe it was indeed the work of that harbinger. I took a look at the entrance and exit records of all the carriages that night. Let's just say it
So
wasn't
3
hard
is
to
nice,
deduce that there
plus
was ill will
the
between you two.
continue?
Don't worry, I don't have any evidence
More
to that
options,
effect,
okay.
and I certainly don't plan on going to bat for such a despicable family. Plus, you were victims back then more than anything.
I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at each console with how big the library is, right? See, with OG Xbox, it's a smaller library, right? So I think 2 is a good way to kind of move through it at a good pace. Xbox 360, I definitely have more 360 games. So I'm going to see how many I have, and I might increase it up to 3 like you said. Xbox One, I can feel like that's going to be a 3. Switch could probably be down to 2. PC down to 2, and then we'll see where things are at that point.
I sought Mr. Linney's help with the smuggling case. Nothing more.
You're really teaming up with the House of the Hearth?
The way I look at it, it's a collaboration between us as people, not the organizations we represent. Besides, by working together, we can expose the truth as quickly as possible. You can hardly say that's at odds with the justice my organization strives for.
I'm assuming you wouldn't be opposed to some extra help.
Not at all. I was planning to invite you from the very beginning, Miss Lynette. It's just that my assistant here raised some objections.
Linny, I'm not the same person I was back then. That little girl who did nothing but cower in the corner in fear. She doesn't need saving anymore.
I know you want to protect your little sister, but little sisters don't stay little forever.
I'm sorry, Lynette. You're right.
Certain consoles have
I let
more
my
games.
concerns get the
True.
better of me.
And also I spent more time on certain
Oh, and the
consoles,
next
so I
time you
have
wanna
more games
distract
because of
me,
that as well.
You should try a different approach.
Who's this? You pick up a stray while I was gone?
It's a bit complicated. I'll explain later.
Her name's Bonnie.
Anyway, her name's Bonnie.
Well, if there are no objections, then I suppose the only thing left to say is, Lynette, Traveler, welcome to the team.
Thank you, thank you. Chevrolet and
It appears
Minnie
the
share.
LYNETTE family was very particular in their use of insignias and emblems. The family would use different emblems to mark differences in status, blood relation, and the like. In fact, the insignia that was discovered on the pendant was used to represent an illegitimate child.
I was talking with Jose today, and we were talking about how we're thinking about doing dual streaming across Twitch and YouTube. And obviously the issue with that is, how do you watch Twitch chat as well as YouTube chat at the same time? And obviously having multiple monitors would already help with that. And as you guys know, I have a multiple monitor. I just haven't set it up yet. And so I've been given the task, by May, I must tear apart my entire setup and finish it off. It's literally going to be a task at work. I have to do it. So that would mean Pierre is a bastard child?
It's highly likely.
Finally?
That very status might have been what
Are you
allowed him
trying to tell me you're on
emerge
his
from the
side?
fall of his family
Terrible.
relatively unscathed.
Terrible. I was
It
hoping
would
for people to
also
be on my
explain
side
why
on
he
this
was
one.
able to assume a new identity as a researcher with relative ease.
We discovered something interesting, though.
Definitely on
After
his
talking
side.
to some of his coworkers, it appears he
Probably not
pretty
on
much
his
works
side
at
about the whole
Institute
Gengar
in
stuff.
name only. He's practically been cast out.
Never. If you are looking for a new community to call home, hit that Discord link, the link that actually works. We'd love to have you part of our community today. We're going to be merging a new community into Ether in the coming weeks.
Apparently, Pierre was once addicted to synth. He tried to use the resources at the Institute to create a substance with a similar effect. He claimed it was just for research purposes, but the Institute revoked his access to the relevant materials regardless. He was placed on disciplinary leave, pending a thorough investigation of his actions.
My enemy is an ally when similar goals align.
But it seems
This
the
is true.
Institute ran into some trouble along the way.
Is it
Could have been a lack of personnel or a timing issue.
my enemy
case,
of my
They had to
enemy
table their
is my
formal
friend? Is that the
investigation into
saying?
Pierre.
Something like that?
Unfortunately, that also included reporting any relevant information to the higher authorities.
Or maybe it's my enemy of thy enemy. I can't remember the exact saying of it. Something like that, yeah.
As for his family background, it appears none of his co-workers at the Institute were aware of that information. All they could tell us was that he was quite the recluse.
Maybe we'll have to take our investigation elsewhere then. Did you find anything useful at his residence?
Other than the pendant, we didn't find anything else of note at his residence in Poisson.
Poisson?
Based on the samples of imitation synth we've been able to analyze, it appears the substance leaves behind strong traces wherever it's produced or stored. Those traces might not be obvious to the casual observer, but they're not something our guard poodles would miss. Pierre's home, though, came up completely clean.
I had a lesson today on Duolingo where I had to just listen to two people talking and understand it. And this was actually the first time where, like, it was the time between understanding what was being said had drastically shortened, and I actually noticed it. I was like, wow.
We didn't find any records indicating possible involvement in overseas transactions either.
My brain is
So,
finally understanding.
Marchose Phantom didn't view him as a major suspect
Thank
at
you.
first.
Maybe he had a separate, dedicated area where he made the imitation synth.
Well, his neighbors did say he was often gone for long stretches of time. You would think with him out and about so much, people would have spotted him around Poisson, but residents said they barely ever saw him in town.
What do you guys think about the new Switch 2?
If his reclusive nature was just a matter of keeping a low profile, I guess it would make sense for him to have a secret base to carry out his business.
After he disappeared, the guards conducted a thorough search of Poisson, but they didn't come across any suspicious locations.
Poisson.
Overpriced and the copycat of the Wii U. You mean in the launch aspect of it? Yeah. What is it,
You know
Lynette?
Hotel de Boer, where I first found Bonnie? To get there from Poisson, you have to cross a stretch of ocean. It's not somewhere a cat could just wander off on its own.
A cat? You mean...
Meow.
Bonnie is Pierre's cat.
Oh, that's right! When the Marchose Phantom first tracked him down, I remember there being something about a cat in their report. So this is her?
From what we've learned about Pierre's habits, he doesn't seem like the type to venture out without a purpose. So what you're saying, Lynette, is that Bonnie couldn't have gone missing in Poisson. If that's true, then...
Exactly. Bonnie might even know where it is.
Wait, you think the cat can lead us there? But she's not trained like one of our guard poodles. How is she supposed to understand what we want her to do?
I can give it a go. Meow, meow, meow. We're gonna try talking to the cat. Let's do it. Oh, we did not. No, we can't talk to cats. Startled, Bonnie rushes to hide behind Lynette.
Ugh, guess she's a little skittish around strangers.
I'll leave it to you then.
Meow. Meow meow. Meow.
Honestly, like, if she didn't have a tail, you'd think she was absolutely insane.
Near the coast, the beach, and beneath the cliffs. The place we're looking for is most likely north of the court of Fontaine.
Well, I've certainly never taken a witness statement.
She's already weird. Yeah, she is.
Well, if it works out, maybe it's something worth getting used to.
Cats and humans are actually pretty alike. When it comes to communication, most of what we want to convey can be accomplished through body language alone.
So the
Humans tend to rely too much on speech to ever take advantage of that fact.
the checkered pattern that you see right now behind Lynette, the same pattern on Linny, and it's red, but that's his magician's cape. And I keep forgetting that Lynette is not wearing a cape. It's a giant ass bow.
Of course, body language has its limitations. You're not going to be able to get across anything too complicated.
The important thing
Yeah.
is that we now have a lead. Let's try and find a place that matches the
Oh no,
cape
sorry.
Dad gave us.
It's not a cape for him. It's he has a bow on his butt. Where are you? Hey. No problem. Thanks, Shinya. Much appreciated. So yeah, so I am thinking about getting the Switch 2. I'm not sure. I do agree that it's overpriced. I understand some of the pricing behind it. The gaming pricing is the wildest one. That one makes 0 sense to me. But we'll see how that goes. And then, like I said before, I've talked about this before. If I do end up getting one, I'm gonna probably get it with Mario Kart, which means you're gonna see a lot of Mario Kart content if that's the case. We'll message from time to time, though. No worries, no worries. Enjoy your group call.
Seems like Bonnie is trying to take us somewhere.
Follow the cat. Go, Bunny, go.
Gardemex ahead.
Look out!
I don't know. I like the idea of the fire imbuement, I guess you'd call them. But I don't know. There's a part of me that still likes the Dendro. Who are you even shooting at, bro? Oh, oh. What happened there? Did a Genshin collab with McDonald's once, and all we got were apple pie packaging. What? That's trash. I know right now they're doing a Minecraft one. People are really kind of enjoying that. We were lucky we even got BTS. No. The BTS nugget sauce was like, I don't know, that, and then what was the other one they had? Megan the Stallion? Had like a quarter pounder or something like that. Something like that, right? Yeah. Which was just something like bacon on there.
Seems like Bonnie is trying to take us somewhere.
Something like that. Really weird. Wait, what happened there? Why did we just do this fight and then it was just like, you know what? You're not there. You actually haven't started the fight yet. Like, what the heck? What the heck?
Gardemex ahead.
Look out!
Yeah, the same Gardemex from before.
Let the show begin. Ouchie! Ink!
Freeze! Oh, so sorry.
Oh, hi.
I mean, if you bounce back and forth between melt, that's not bad.
Dodge this.
Oh! Getting kicked to the face.
Cool, don't push your luck. Freeze.
Come on, we can do it.
Cool it. This moment will be frozen in time.
Melt, melt, melt.
Nice and spicy.
Gyoba. Where's the other one? Okay. It's funny because like I was looking at Pardon, go. Yeah, I was looking at the timers when I was doing those bots. I was trying to compare it to the other bots that were sitting there, but having them blast out both at the same time is wild. I think I actually know why they're not clickable. I keep forgetting that the @ symbol in the HTTP in the web link is not needed. So I think I already know how to fix those two. But I'll have to split them up so they have more of a... Because I think right now they're both popping at 30 minutes.
Wow, Lynette, you found this place so easily. If I thought there was any chance you'd say yes, I'd recruit you into the special patrol here and now.
Ooh,
no
there's-
questions asked.
There's a
Sounds
place for me to
familiar.
use the key.
I pretty much receive letters daily from people trying to poach her from me.
Let's just focus on our search. There's a lot to investigate.
But going back to the McDonald's thing, nothing compares to the Happy Meal toys we had back growing up. Okay, so we're gonna bounce out first. I honestly think the only toys that come close to the McDonald's toys that we had back then was the Pokemon cards. Though the Pokemon cards kind of like it's something unique that potentially would have some type of value, and I'm saying value with like quotation. But the whole point of a Happy Meal toy was to give your child something to play with while they ate. How the heck do you play with cards? Because there are not enough cards for you to actually play. You'd have to bring your deck and then put the card in your deck. And then, yeah, I guess you could play the Pokemon TCG. But no, like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just sounding like an old person. Alright. Back to where we were. Now that we got, because I think Bloom and potentially Hyper Bloom is a better setup than having the. You know what I just noticed though? This is my first time noticing this. Did you know that her knee pads, the thing in the center of her torso, on her lower back, and then also these little things, the diamond things, they change color based upon what she's resonating with? I didn't know that. Am I the only person that didn't notice that? You already knew that? I just realized that before this she was actually had orange. That's crazy. I mean, like, wait, how did you know that though? Because that was, what is that? What is a Nemo? Was a Nemo white or like a mint color? And then it would have been... That's probably why I didn't notice, because I didn't resonate. No, son, because you're gonna have to type everything to her, Q, so that she can stay up to date. I think it's white. Okay, white. But I didn't resonate with Electro, so I didn't see the purple. I'm assuming it was purple. I very, very briefly resonated with Hydro. I didn't see the blue. So for me, it was just a Nemo, Dendro, and then fire. And the fire you notice. It's orange, it's bright orange, right? If you're enjoying the content, tickle that purple heart to keep the good times rolling. I do this part of my Genshin streams every Monday and Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern. And I have another series that runs on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Phantom searched Pierre's house, there was no sign of these barrels, right?
He must have moved them. But carrying them all the way out here would attract way too much attention.
You're right. That doesn't seem like his way of doing things. How did he get them here then?
Magic. Or maybe he uses cat labor.
Only the lower halves of the barrels appear to have been submerged in water.
The material these bags are made of, it's quite rare.
Is it? Doesn't it look similar to the material used for your magic pockets?
It's the very same, actually. Romaritime flower fiber. But there's something special about the composition of these bags. I took a closer look, and it appears they're not only waterproof, but also corrosion and leak resistant. Even the strings look specially designed to keep the bags closed nice and tight. I came across some bags made of the same material just now, but they were much smaller and thinner. From the look of them, they seemed far less durable as well.
So kind of like one of those small sealed bags?
Very similar, actually. Normally, it would be easy for a guard poodle to sniff out the imitation synth, but if it was sealed away in a bag like that, it might be possible to elude detection for some time. But what could these big bags be for then? If the goal is to keep the imitation synth hidden and sealed away, these bags seem a bit too conspicuous.
And what are you looking at?
Aha! Just as we thought.
Oh.
This is where the imitation synth was being made.
Like right here? These bottles and jars, they're all imitation synth?
Looks like he's got more than just imitation synth stashed around here. In addition to the raw materials needed to synthesize the substance itself, there's a large quantity of cleaning agents and a few drugs I haven't been able to identify. These cleaning agents are likely used to dispel traces of the substance, like its smell. The Special Patrol did some digging into imitation synth. Our records indicate that it's very difficult for ordinary people to detect traces left behind by the stuff. I'm sure that was the case for Pierre as well. It must have taken a considerable amount of time and skill to ensure all those traces get washed away. But what are these other drugs for? Based on the various ingredients we've found, This appears to be where Pierre was cooking up his imitation synth. It looks like he used a special cleaning agent to get rid of any residual traces of the substance on his person before he left. That's how he was able to get past the guard poodles.
That's why the Marchese Phantom didn't find anything suspicious in his home. Your Smisky is a bit wonky. What's a Smisky?
So then he transferred the imitation synth into small sealed bags and took it somewhere else for the drop-off.
No. I don't believe our suspect is the kind of person who'd go around carrying incriminating evidence with him. That would potentially create too many eyewitnesses.
Oh.
The cleaning agent and the sealed
I'm
bags
sure it looks
might get past the
fantastic.
guard poodles. But if a member of the public or even a guard on patrol happened to see him during the drop-off, a quick search would reveal everything. That's still a very risky operation.
What about if the drop-off happened at sea? There'd be no one around to see him.
The barrels we found were wet around the base, but the top half was dry. As if they'd been standing upright in the water.
I don't know why you have to show me a picture. Yes, I can understand that.
If you put a barrel in the water, it will normally float on its side. Unless it's heavily loaded, in which case it'll sink.
So he must have used something to tightly seal bags full of air? Turning them into airtight flotation devices.
Yes.
Oh.
With flotation rings around the body of the barrels, they'd stay upright in the water. And then he could afford to load them more fully.
Again, don't need the picture, I can understand.
You think he used floating barrels?
Sent
Suppose
image
if
of
he acted at
Smiskies.
night, when there are very few other boats around and visibility is low, it's a valid theory.
Where'd you send them to?
We can't rule it out.
But then, wouldn't the barrels be carried off by the waves or the currents? How would the person doing the pickup know where to look?
Insta. Okay. Uno momento, por favor. Do. Oh, the little dudes. You're saying yours doesn't look like that? Oh, no. I don't need to go into my hourly. The cute ones. Yes, the cute ones. Barrels that can float away and get lost at sea. Sounds difficult to keep in one place, kind of like certain pets. Meow. Not really? Oh, don't cry.
Traveler,
I'm sure it will look
can you come
fantastic.
take a dip in the sea with me?
And,
I have a feeling that
correct me if I'm
somewhere down
wrong,
there,
this is your first time
we
doing
might
this?
find some rope.
We'll try to keep that in mind.
If a rope can be used to keep a pet from running away,
If this
then
year's your
why not a
100th one,
barrel?
maybe maybe you should question it at that point. But maybe a new design at that point. But since it's your first time, be kind to yourself. It's deformed? No, it's special. It's unique. It's not deformed. Not special ed. Watch this one be one of the ones. Oh my god, this is not easy to do. Well, that's supposed to say don't be negative, but Stream Elements is like completely out of it. And that means, honestly, remember how we were trying to do it in Jose's stream? Well, no, my stream. And Jose said that he's been having an issue. That means that stuff's been offline for a while. Gonna have to really figure that out. I'm gonna contact them directly and be like, hey, what's the deal? I don't I don't pay you. But what's the deal? Wait, do we pay them? I'm trying to think about if the template that I have for the start stream and all that type of stuff, that's through Stream Elements. Or that might, no, I think that's through Stream Labs. Wait, Stream Labs and Stream Elements the same thing? I don't know. Oh, we're gonna go into the water. Oh, is that still there? Yeah, I did do it. Okay, good. What?
The wreckage of a small boat?
Oh, we're talking? That's what you chose to have the voice actor say?
This isn't the place.
Well, you told me to go here. That's on you, Lynette. Or Lumine. I don't know why I called her Lynette.
This isn't the place.
Oh, it says Lynette. Why is it saying Lynette? Oh, that's her talking to us. It's not. Never mind. So she's swimming with us? Why wouldn't we just swim as her? Okay, well...
Got it. Time to go up and report.
I mean, you didn't actually swim, Lynette. Dolphin. Choo.
As expected, we found a few pieces of rope and some anchoring stones underwater. If you attach them to a floating barrel, it would look like this.
Yes, again, I understand
With
this.
this anchoring system, it would be possible to use floating barrels for the drop-off. You would just need to drop them in the water at the agreed-upon location. We also came across the wreckage of a small boat. It must have been left out on the water and capsized due to the force of the wind and waves. Its small size, however, would have made it perfect for staying undetected.
If it capsized, it would have been
Let's talk
upside
this
down,
through.
and it wasn't.
Based on the evidence we've collected, it seems like Pierre would row a small boat out to the agreed-upon transfer point, drop off the barrels, leave, and then row back and retrieve them after the transfer was complete.
It's not so much that we're blind, it's just the fact that they explain things to us that are very simple, but then still show it to us. They're like, it's like a triangle. And then they show us a picture of a triangle. I get it. I know what a triangle looks like. There's no... It makes no sense. It's like, oh, it's a barrel. And then the bottom's wet. So they show a barrel in water, but only on the bottom. Yes, I understand that. And then there's flotation devices. Here. Yeah, I get that. And then there's like, oh, so we tie it down so it doesn't roll away. Yes, I understand this. Like, are kids playing this game? Probably. Actually, they should. I don't know. Like, if I had a kid, I don't know what kid I'd want to play this, though. They'd have to be a teenager. In my opinion, I wouldn't want my child to play this game. It should be, oh, PG-13. I was going to say it should be page 13. I was like, page 13? 13, yeah. 13 makes sense. But a 13-year-old's going to understand the stuff that they're describing in the picture. So again, I don't know. I can understand like a child, someone that's like 5, 6, 7, 8, maybe not understanding. No, 8. I feel like an 8-year-old would understand a barrel that's wet on the bottom and dry on the top. Anyways, sorry, just complaining. Why use such convoluted drop-off methods, though? Wouldn't it be easier for both parties to meet up at the transfer point on their respective vessels and exchange the goods? Right? Yeah, that would make sense.
It could be that he was trying to avoid meeting up with his associate face to face.
Why?
As one of the sole survivors of the Lefebvre family, maybe he was just used to that sort of elusive lifestyle.
It seems like Pierre deliberately chose the floating barrel method so that the goods could be dropped off and picked up at separate times. That way, the two parties wouldn't have to meet each other.
Well, if that's the case, they must not have a very close working relationship.
Let's not jump to any conclusions just yet. Assumptions can be detrimental to solving a case. It's possible they were just trying to keep a low profile. Two boats sailing to the same location at once could be too conspicuous. The most important thing is that we can now confirm Pierre wasn't acting alone. The floating barrel drop-off system is proof enough of that. Let's say for now that he was only in charge of producing the imitation synth. That would mean there has to be at least one other person involved in the operation, likely in charge of transporting the goods across the border.
That explains why we couldn't find evidence linking him to any overseas operations.
Since we've determined that the goods were transported by boat, maybe we can track down some travel logs or something.
We can certainly check the various ports for that information. It's possible, however, that Pierre's associate also used a small boat for the transport and docked along the shore rather than at a large port. If that's the case, it's unlikely there would be any record left behind.
Have you looked into the ports already?
Absolutely. Before Pierre disappeared, we made sure to investigate all sorts of outward-bound vessels. We also had port authorities keep a lookout for anything suspicious.
You know what's kind of mess up? This is a hangout session with Lynette. I feel like we're hanging out more with Chevers and Linny.
Unfortunately, we were never able to find out how they managed to get the imitation synth across the border.
It's very weird. She's like standing off to the side by herself. We're just like, I'm sorry, like we shouldn't have come over here. A small boat and a few barrels isn't going to get you very far.
You're right. Whatever vessel was used for the pickup.
Maybe they're all like this?
responsible for
Oh, I
smuggling
hope
the
not.
substance out of Fontaine
That's
would have had
weird.
to use a larger vessel for the actual transport.
Technically dating
That's
3
the
people.
only way they would be able to smuggle on a large enough scale to make
2
a
being
profit.
family members. That's
They
a
must have
triangle I
found
never
a way
want to be in.
disguise the imitation synth to clear port inspections.
Well, even if we can't find any travel logs, we can still search for other clues.
Exactly. We can't let any opportunities slip through the cracks. Although, given the amount of ports that could be involved, we should probably split up.
I'll run home and ask some of my brothers and sisters to try and dig up some information.
I should also head back and update my platoon on our progress. I'll grab some reinforcements while I'm at it. Lynette, Traveler, why don't you head to Lumiduce Harbor and see what you can find out?
Finally, some alone
Alright.
time.
Come on, Bonnie. You too.
Ah, damn, the cat's coming along. Turn this commission in. Our daily commissions. And then before we continue with the story, I'm actually going to see if I can get to that. Or at least see if I have a
Thank
key.
you for completing.
I can open that thing. It was driving me nuts. Every single time it pivoted back to Linny and him talking, I could see that it was closed on the screen. I was like, ah!
Adventurers Guild.
I don't want to. Yeah, no, I don't want. I don't want to grab those keys yet, because then it'll be like wasted keys. Oh crap! I don't remember where we were. Oh, there we go. Here, sorry. When I teleported away, I was just like, I don't know where we were, so I could go back to that one. Wait, do we even have a key? Blue key. I need. Oh yeah. No, that's Mondstadt. Oh, we don't have. We don't have any keys for Fontaine. How did we? No, we still. We have. How do we have 5 keys for Mondstadt? Does that? Do you think they give enough keys in the game only to cover off those shrines, or do you think they give extra keys? That would be something to know. Should I be sitting here thinking that there's 5 shrines I've never seen before? Or I got them all? How do I go in there? Hmm? How do I get in the bubble? Let me in your bubble.
Let's dance.
Look at that. I am Barbara. What about if I freeze the bubble? No. Do you know how to get into the bubble queue? Oh, I understand. What about this thing? What does this thing do?
Dodge this.
We're doing it. We are doing something.
Cool it.
Oh. We did something. Get in there, open the bubble. Okay, so another one over here. Ooh, maybe it's this one. I'm hoping if you go in there, you'll take the bubble down. Yay, I figured it out.
Things are going so smoothly today.
Yeah, they are. You know what's one thing that won't happen? Is you'll never be as tall as your sister. No matter how smoothly your day goes. Thanks for the bit donation, Q. Oh, there it is. I missed it. Yeah, so stop asking. Yeah. Get a grip on reality, Barbara. Who wants to know you're jealous of your sister, Barbara?
Go, Barbara, go!
You're gonna be a shorty all your life. Yeah, time to lean into it. Wait, what was going on? I finished getting that. I'm just like, wait, what are we doing? We're meeting with Lynette somewhere. There we go. Oh, I remember coming over here and being like, oh, this is a very cool looking area that literally just has a waypoint and that's it. This is what it's for.
Oh, Lynette, traveler. And Bonnie, too. What brings you all here?
Are you not happy
Did
that
something
Bonnie's
happen?
here? Because I'm not happy that Bonnie's here. We're here to check the travel logs.
Oh. I see. Thank you for everything you're doing for the people of Fontaine.
What are you doing here?
I'm in charge of guarding the port.
Okay.
You mentioned you were after some travel logs, right? I can go fetch those for you.
You seem sus.
Looks like
Are
I've
you
got
working with
another
them?
hard day
Hmm?
of work ahead of me.
Are things usually pretty hectic around here? It's a tiny ass port. I don't know how it's hectic.
No, not usually. It's this incident that happened recently.
No, we're not
Before
roasting
that,
him.
Everything was normal. All we had to do was confiscate anything suspicious and we could call it a day. Pretty simple stuff. But
Imagine reading a
things are
chat and
much
trying to
more
guess at what's
complicated
going on.
now. We somehow let suspicious cargo pass through the port undetected. Not even our guard.
You know when
crew
you
was
say
able to
don't
sniff
do it,
out.
she's just
Even
gonna roast
worse,
someone that's
we
not being
still
roasted.
Don't know how the
gonna
perpetrator
come out
was
swinging
able to conceal the
for no
goods
reason.
so well.
By suspicious cargo, do you mean imitation synth?
Yep. However, prohibited substances are just one example. We confiscate all sorts of contraband during the course of our inspections. Or at least, we're supposed to.
So what happens to the goods you confiscate?
Oh, we keep them in a storage locker. If they turn out to be something particularly dubious, we'll turn them over to the Maison Orderly.
You are enjoying.
If the goods are only slightly suspicious but
See?
otherwise
She now wants to
harmless,
roast me.
like raw materials that could potentially be used to create
Very
contraband,
cute.
we return them to the ship they were confiscated from,
See,
instead of letting them pass
when you
through
say
the port.
don't do it, Shinya,
Sorry for the wait.
the way that you convey it, Q,
These
comes
are the
off
travel
as
logs
like
for
you're
all
trying
the
to
recent
urge somebody to
activity
do
at the
it.
port.
So now she wants to roast me, and we're not even trying to roast me. It has nothing to do with me.
Oh, you brought Gerard with you.
Actually, he followed me here himself. It's like he smells something on me.
The dog has orange eyes.
Huh.
You can roast me if you want. I just don't even know why. But go for it. I can tell you right now that height is not a pressure point for me. Do not care. Could be because we just left the place where the imitation synth was made. Whatever Gerard smelled on you probably came from us. Unless we gave her a hug, I don't know why it would be coming from us.
Huh? We were so careful not to touch it, but we still ended up with traces on
I wouldn't
us.
call myself tall.
If it leaves a residue so
Average.
easily, I just don't understand how the culprit was able to disguise
And I mean, like,
the goods at all.
actually average. If
Why
you look
don't
up
you have
what's
a
the
look at the
average height
travel logs
in
first?
America,
All
it
ships
comes up
coming
as
in and out of the port are recorded
5'9".
here, except for the ones the port authorities ride to and from work.
5'8", 5'9", I think is North America. You flip through the numerous travels logs. You know, several instances where the Humane Society is listed. The name really seems to stand out.
The Humane Society.
You're taller than that, thou? Yes, he nice.
Their name is all over the exit logs. The purpose for leaving is always listed as overseas adoption.
Be nice.
Ah, the director of the organization explained that actually. He said a lot of the cat and dog breeds unique to Fontaine are also very popular overseas. So, his organization offers an overseas adoption program.
Bernard, the director of the Humane Society, was the man who came looking for Bonnie earlier. Have you figured it out too, Traveler? The way the criminal disguised the goods?
No.
When Bernard asked to take a closer look at Bonnie, he was actually checking whether there was any imitation synth in her stomach.
Why would she have imitation synth in her stomach?
Wait, what?
He's smuggling.
Sealed bags we found at the secret base.
They were specially made to be corrosion resistant.
What? He's putting the bags in cats? Did you see the size of the bags when Lenny was looking at them? They were the size of the entire cat. Mahoyo, what is wrong with you? What is going on? This is wild. So you're saying that Bonnie was a drug mule? What?
There were gaps around the lids of the barrels, and airbags were used to keep them upright in the water.
So the animals would be able to breathe? Oh my god.
Those drug shippers found at the secret base. She most likely didn't recognize them because they're not used on human beings. It's an anesthetic used on pets. The perpetrator must have given it to the animals.
So they would keep still in the floating barrels.
Pierre must have made the animals swallow the sealed bags full of imitation synth at his secret base. Then he stuffed them into floating barrels and left the rest to Bernard.
Oh my
Sealed bags
god.
combined with an animal
This is a
body
wild
weight
story
would
to start off
certainly
with.
be enough to mask the scent of imitation synth.
During our inspections, we would have never thought to inspect the bellies of those animals for anything suspicious. Even if we tried to feel around for something, I'm sure it would be difficult to detect.
Exactly. I bet Bernard even transported animals with synth in their stomach alongside ones without. That way, it would be even harder to say with certainty that something was amiss.
You think Bonnie could have imitation synth in her stomach?
She's probably in the clear. Otherwise, Bernard would have never left without her. I'm guessing he didn't know whether Pierre had already hidden the next batch of imitation synth before he fled. Just imagine. He sees the notice we put in the Steambird, and it turns out that one of the very cats he gave to Pierre for the smuggling operation is out in the open, roaming the streets of Fontaine. If Pierre had already hidden the next batch of imitation synth, then Bonnie would practically be living proof of their crimes. He would have had no choice but to go after her.
So, that's why he came to find you and insisted on taking a closer look at the cat.
Pierre must have fled in a hurry. The fact is probably what spared Bonnie.
Wait a second, I'm a little lost here. I get the part about hiding the substance in the pets, but those, what did you call them again? Floating barrels? Why even put the animals in there in the first place? If you've got something as convenient as a floating barrel, why not just stuff it with the imitation synth directly? Why not wait to hide the stuff until after the exchange has been made?
In order to make sure the animals could swallow the sealed bags, they made them extremely thin. Had they not done that, the animals would have likely bitten or chewed through them.
Jesus. And if any of the imitation synth leaked out, they also would have needed a lot of cleaning agents to get rid of a resulting smell.
That step would have required a lot of energy, as well as a certain amount of technical expertise. So, it was better left to the more experienced Pierre. We've already proven how easy it is to pick up trace amounts of imitation synth, so I'm sure Bernard was taking all the precautions he could to avoid the same fate.
Okay, then let's head to the Humane Society right away and bring that guy to justice. I'll bring a Gardamek to speed up the process.
Very sad. I still haven't noticed any of the hearts changing with Lynette, and I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. See, that's actually my boat right there from the last time I was here. He remembers. I stand by my reasoning for that. For the hearts? You think they need to turn red? But then what am I supposed to be doing, though? Am I supposed to be, like, bringing her gifts every time we talk? Disappear. Oh. So then by your reasoning, you think we're doing good. Because we have 5 white hearts. Maybe not saying good, but we're not doing wrong. Yeah.
The headquarters of the Humane Society should be somewhere around here. Bernard could show up any moment now.
Ah, you're the people from earlier. Wait, you're from the guards?
Yes.
After him! We can't let him get away!
Now he plays Lynette. Look at the size of that bow. Get him, Lynette! Stop that guy!
Give it up, Bernard.
Mercy, have mercy. I'll talk. I'll tell you everything I know.
The Humane Society has done so much good over the years, and yet you have committed such an atrocious deed in its name.
That's pretty wild
Look,
to be
I
working for
didn't
the
have
Humane
a
Society and
choice,
do this.
okay?
Wow!
He cared about those blasted
Audacity.
animals so much, he didn't bother to take care of his human wife and son at all. Well,
Yeah, too bad we didn't
animals were
jump
showered
up
with
higher.
love. I lived worse than a dog.
No one asked. Tell me, how did you first get to know Pierre?
Well, after I took over the Humane Society, it gradually became harder and harder to maintain its operations. Until one day, someone suddenly passed me a letter. It said that I could stand to get a large sum of money as long as I helped them to
greed.
transport
Here
some
we go.
animals abroad. It was only after a few such transports that I finally understood what I was really transporting. But then, Pierre wrote to me, saying that we were already partners in crime and that I better keep cooperating with him if I didn't want to be reported to the guards. I would order wooden barrels and flotation devices according to his instructions, and then load the sleeping animals onto a boat. Once I sailed to the location he provided, I would dump everything together into the sea. And a few days after that, I'd come by again in my boat and pick up the animals sleeping in the barrels. Once I had received enough of them, I'd bring them to the harbor to be adopted abroad. That guy, Pierre, he was running the entire show. He set up all the meeting times and found all the foreign adopters. Oh, and he even supplied all of the goods, too. I just did the transport. He was the one who planned out and executed everything else.
Likely story, bro. So where is he now?
Look, I don't know, okay? I've never ever met him in person. We've only ever communicated through letters.
And when did he send his final letter to you?
Just last night, he said that the Marechaussee Phantom is now after him, so he's planning to go into hiding for some time. He didn't mention where he's thinking about going, though, but he did tell me to look out for the guards.
It's been a few days since
And
Pierre's
you kind of
last
failed at
appearance.
that, because here we are.
I'd wager that he sent that letter after he found his hiding spot.
Yeah. So where's that letter now?
I burned them. It was
Why?
on his orders. I had to burn every letter after reading them. I
So you
wasn't
want
even
us to
allowed
believe you
share
just for
them
the
with
sake of
rest
believing
the
you?
Society employees.
Sure sounds like you're trying to use the lack of witnesses or evidence to pin the blame on Pierre.
No, I swear, this time I'm only telling you the truth.
How would I know?
We can check the truth of your statements at the Opera House. I hope you know what'll be coming for you if I were to find any discrepancy between the evidence and the testimony you just gave.
Yep.
I know, I swear I was just telling the truth.
My thanks to you both. Had it not been for you, I really don't know what would have happened to this case.
Bonnie helped, too.
Oh.
That's true. It was all thanks to her that Bernard was finally exposed.
You know what I just thought of? Now this may not be true. We might still be the thing we were talking about before. But what if the 5 hearts is from the 5 endings? That could be a thing. And then when you get 5 endings, then you get a different, like, I don't know. I'm guessing still. There is 5
And
hearts.
it looks like she's grown quite fond of you two as well. Then I'll leave you be. Just let me know if you find any other new leads.
See, she just had a heart go over her head and then it broke. Okay, what's on your mind? See, another one just broke. I don't know. I don't know if we're doing something right or
Was it
wrong.
obvious, huh? Well, even though it didn't feel like Bernard was lying, after talking to him, I'm getting an even stronger sense that something's not
Makes
quite
my
right.
hands burn.
We investigated so quickly that perhaps we've missed a thing or
Sue does
two
not
along the way.
feel it right.
Let me activate deduction mode and consider things again from the top to see if we can find anything new. Is there still anything unresolved or strange that we should try to consider?
Says do not apply to broken, irritated, or itching skin. Uh-oh. That's what that is. Uh-oh.
The Marechaussee Phantom found Bonnie and the Lefevre pendant at Pierre's residence. That was the beginning point of our investigation.
Well, that's not good. I should wash it? Oh, okay, just a second. There we go. For some of y'all that don't know, I have psoriasis. And I thought I'll sit here and put some hand cream on. I was using a CBD cream. And then I just started noticing that, like, starting to burn and turn red. I'm like, uh-oh. Okay. So why is Pierre a suspect? The pet handoff. Bonnie has been with Pierre ever since. First meeting with Pierre and the... Okay. The pen is proof that it's owner, isn't it? This is the first. They're actually disappearing. So what? It's
There's
just
no
the
need
last
to
one?
rush. Let's see if we can find any other suspicious points about this case. Bernard claims to have received a letter last night from Pierre. In the letter, Pierre stated that he had gone into hiding. Is there something wrong with the letter?
Regardless of whether he sent it to anonymously or secretly delivered it to himself, it's no longer something we can follow up on.
There's no need to rush.
Are we not doing it well? Because that's why she just keeps... There's an unexplained part in the operation of this traffic.
Well, we've discovered that Bernard is responsible for the trafficking, while Pierre
Is there anything else that is difficult to explain? Okay.
There's no need to rush.
Oh god.
Let's see if we can find any other...
I think we failed all three of those.
Perhaps.
Oh, that was not good.
Now behave and follow me to the interrogation room.
Ow! That hurt. Ow!
Contemplation, they're about to leave. Is it really okay to let them go? 6. Check failed. We can leave Bernard's integration to the guards. Let's first rescue the animals at the Humane
Is
Society.
everything really over? I still feel like the relationship between Pierre and Bernard is not as
Oh,
simple as
nice.
it
A rip bitty.
appears.
Really? Really?
Also, I've had
Thank
this
you, though.
strange sense that something's off the entire time we've been on the case. And it has only gotten worse. No good.
Oh no!
Got nothing.
We did
No
screw up 3
really
times.
energy.
Look at the hearts disappeared. We're down to 1 heart. Holy crap. Oh god.
Alright, I'll stop thinking about it for now. At the very least, we've made it so that no more animals will suffer like those poor animals did. And that's what I hope. Let's go to the Humane Society and see if there are any animals left that might still need our help before my energy for today completely runs out.
Aww. We didn't do well. Save the kitty. The truth remains submerged in the dark undercurrents, yet hope already lies beyond the cage. So we could have actually gone right to an ending, right from our decision there. And there's 2 endings off this one. It should say 1 ending. Okay, so Lynette has already got 1 ending for hers. If you are enjoying the content, hit that purple heart to keep the good times rolling. This is part of a stream that I do on Mondays and Fridays at 7 p.m. Eastern. We're currently working through the Hangout events. And then we get the reward. Ooh. The 1, 2, 3. I only see 3, so it would only bring up to 4. I'm gonna see if I can get a pivot off here and see what it seems like, or see what it feels like. I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say there. Just see what it's like. Let's go with that word. So this is back at the beginning.
Huh. I didn't like that. Was I using it wrong? Maybe if I just... Clearly, there's some design flaws to iron out. I'll have to let Fremine know.
I feel like maybe this wasn't a design issue.
Let's see... Which card did I get? 4.
It's in 5, so that means no helping Bonnie.
Well, the cards fell on the ground though, so I don't think it counts as fate. If you want to get the right answer, you have to let fate decide. Also something Linny said. So, to put it another way, if picking a card up off the ground is how to not leave it to fate, then that means it must be the wrong answer.
I think what Linny really meant is sometimes you have to accept the answer you didn't want.
Or... Why don't you pick a card? Since I ran into you here, that means... our fates are like interfering with each other.
You should leave the razzle-dazzling to Linny.
Thank you. This one is final, I promise. Here, take the fateometer. If it's 5 or above, that means fate successfully changed. Anything lower than 5 is a fail. Also, if you have your own thoughts about what I should do, feel free to share it. Now that I've got a good problem solver here to help, I don't need to run every little thing by fate.
You can do it. So last time we went right to I think you should help Bonnie. Let's just go to I think you should head back to the drinks reception.
Back to the drinks reception.
I mean, clearly you don't want to go. You could just...
Nope, I said it was your decision. I'm not gonna waste any more energy dragging my feet. Besides, the drinks reception is technically part of the job as an official publicity event. So, if I bail on it...
You'll feel guilty inside?
I might get sued for breach of contract, and that would be a huge pain in the butt. One other thing. Do you want to come with me? If you're free, I mean.
Sure. We have at least one friend there.
Thanks.
Thanks. Thanks. She's so indecisive. Yeah. I wonder how long until we run to the end of these things.
There you are, Lynette. Where did you disappear
Are you
to?
twins?
Leone and I have been looking everywhere
Is there a
for
mirror
you.
in the middle?
Wait, where did you get the cat?
Meow.
I
Oh, he's all
found
dressed
her
up.
outside. Do either of you happen to recognize her?
I don't think so. Could belong to one of the guests, I suppose.
Fair enough. It was a long shot.
So sorry we couldn't help you, Lynette.
Don't worry. We'll ask around for you. Leone's probably just being forgetful.
Maybe you could leave her with us. We'll take her to the reception desk and see if they know anything.
Leone has a list.
And if not, we'll just keep looking.
Sure. I would help, but I'm a little preoccupied. Sorry to dump this on you.
It's no trouble at all. We're happy to help however we can.
Also, if it's no trouble, I mean, could we maybe get an autograph? And maybe a photo too?
Leone, you can't spring that on her now. Not while she's working.
I mean, she just did.
At least wait until the event's finished. One last thing, Lynette. Director Mary is looking for you. We'll take the cat to the front desk now. See you later.
You're so popular.
I'm not usually required at these kinds of events, so I don't even have an event mode. Alright, guess I'd better go see the director.
I don't even have an event mode.
Spectacular choreography, a masterpiece of mise-en-scène, and the performance, oh my, groundbreaking, dripping with je ne sais quoi. My congratulations on another magnificent show, sir.
Mise en scène, something in. I think it's like something in movement. Something in motion. Sorry. And je ne sais quoi means I don't know what. That's what it means. That's not I don't know what. It's je ne sais quoi. Je is I. Ne sais is like don't know. And then quoi is what?
Yes, I, for one, was particularly captivated by the clearly allegorical narrative undertones. The Lost Puppet shines a spotlight on the impact of technological advances in our modern society, particularly as they relate to changing modes of emotional expression and the challenge of mutual intelligibility.
You know, it's kind of interesting growing up when I started learning French. I really liked learning about like when you say I and stuff like that, because it's je with a J, and so because my name starts with a J, I kind of felt like slightly connected to it. I was like, yeah, I is je.
Such a pioneering work, so far ahead of its time. A tour de force of avant-garde theater.
I can already see the headlines of tomorrow's newspapers. They will certainly be singing your praise, Director Mariyu.
But it was a group effort, of course. To convey emotions in a silent show with no facial expressions, the entire cast had to go above and beyond. Everyone truly outdid themselves.
Speaking of the cast, Jillian, another strong performance from you in Director Mariyu's latest show, as of course we've all come to expect from your numerous successful collaborations to date.
That's quite an overstatement. I've only ever played supporting roles.
On that point, you stated a few months ago in an interview that you were looking to secure a leading role in your next show. What led you to the decision to stay in a supporting role this time around?
We had a discussion about this, and while Lynette hadn't previously performed in an acting role, we were blown away by her talent, and she was a perfect fit for this character. Quite simply, this was the role she was born to play.
Exactly. I was honored to share the stage with her. Lynette worked extremely hard in all of the rehearsals, and she's an incredibly talented actress.
Is this the girl that had the stage fright during the acting one with what was her name? The Water Archon? Farina? Remember how like Farina had to step in and take over because this girl felt sick or she was pushing herself or something with her medicine? I think it's her.
Oh, Lynette's back!
Hey, Lynette, where have you been?
Are you in standby mode? Some reports say you switched that state to recharge after a show.
Ah, method acting, of course. Such a compelling portrayal of a mechanical puppet could only be achieved by an actor who lives and breathes their role even while off stage.
Those seemingly stilted movements were in fact an inspired portrayal of the character. The ostensibly bad acting, in reality, was the product of supreme acting skill.
Did you just call me a bad actor and said that I was... Wow, that's really messed up.
Oh, I went outside and there was this cat there, so I played with the cat for a bit.
We've long heard that you are a kind soul as well as an incredible actress. No wonder your debut performance has garnered such popularity.
This show looks on track to break box office records for avant-garde theater. Lynette, any words for the fans?
Not really, no.
I believe Lynette is trying to say that the act of performance itself is the actor's true means of connecting with
She didn't even say anything.
Oh, I see. Lynette, any comments?
Right, exactly.
But don't you want the fans to know how you're feeling right now after the hugely successful opening of your first ever show?
That's true.
I'm sure the fans would love to learn a bit more about you too.
How interesting.
Let's try to observe how she's doing. Oh my god. We keep getting bad rolls. Lynette's answer all sounds very calm. She seems fine.
Lynette, how do you find acting compares with performing?
I'm hoping you don't have to get high numbers in order to get the outcomes. Lynette struggles to keep up as she is inundated with questions.
Yeah,
poor Lynette.
it's just... Turns out I can't cope with this stuff even in tea party mode.
It's a power saving mode.
It's a power saving mode for participating in conversation at tea parties.
Look at her with the thumbs up.
I can get through an entire conversation just
the double thumbs up.
That's true. And how interesting. But at a tea party, I'm not normally subjected to a constant stream of questions.
Tea party mode.
The energy consumption of that interview just now was 3 times as much as the average tea party.
Probably. It's a big adjustment. Give it some time. Maybe after a few more interviews, you'll get used to it.
I think I'd rather pray that I never have to do it again.
Yeah.
Lynette, Director
Director Mariu would like you to join the group photo to commemorate the successful opening of the show.
A group photo?
It's just the members of the troupe, along with Maloney and Corentin. Everyone's waiting for you.
Alright then. See you in a minute.
Lynette and Cyril go to the group photo.
3, 2, 1, smile.
My thanks to each and every one of you here for your help in making The Lost Puppet a success. The group photo is already being printed as I speak. You can collect your copy from the first floor after the drinks reception concludes. May it serve as a reminder of this fabulous performance every time you see it.
Mariu! Get over here. Let's have another drink. There's a few things I need you to glance over for me.
Wait, that means the reception still isn't over?
I thought the group photo was the final hurdle. Well, at least there's no more people hounding me with questions. I just need to find somewhere to switch to standby mode, and the time will fly by. I hope.
Go to the second floor to pass the time. Oh, you're here. I was just talking about you.
de Boer's Eel Floutante is as wonderfully sweet as ever.
Farina, you managed to get an invite to the drinks reception too?
Traveler? Lynette? Oh, wait, hold on. What do you mean, managed to get an invite? I'm an expert in the dramatic arts. Of course I was invited. Naturally, people wanted to hear my comments on the emerging art form that is the masked mime show.
So then what did you think?
Remarkable, and a very worthwhile artistic endeavor. Exploring a character with no lines or facial expressions who can only communicate how they feel through their movement. Your performance was beyond anything I could have imagined, Lynette. Clearly, this was a very suitable role for you indeed.
You seem to hear a sound. If you listen closely, you can hear some small noise coming from the back corner.
Is something wrong?
No, it's nothing.
She's just standing in the corner?
Oh, basically, I think I'd give it a positive review overall. Just not as gushing as the crowd downstairs.
So, you thought they were pretty over the top too?
In fairness, it's normal to bring along some vocal supporters for publicity when a new show opens. But still, this was something else. Then again, I'm no specialist in avant-garde theater. Maybe I'm just not well acquainted with their review criteria. Or maybe it's because I came to the show with some preconceived expectations. I did happen to see the original draft of Mariu's script a while back.
What original draft?
Oh? He didn't show it to you? It must have been a few months ago. He came to me to get some advice from an experienced performer's perspective, and then asked if I could write a few reviews of his new play. I had a lot on my plate at the time, so I had to turn him down. I only skimmed a few sections, but they seemed quite different from the final version. I can't say I remember the plot, but I don't know. The protagonist just seemed more complex, I guess, especially in the last two scenes. Still a mechanical puppet on the outside, of course, but she seemed to have more emotional depth on the inside.
Emotional depth?
Oh, I'm just thinking aloud here. Don't take it to heart. Besides, a script and a play are two very different beasts. There are so many fine details to consider when turning a story into a stage production. More than most people could imagine, especially with a novel art form like a masked mime show. I'm sure Mariu had his reasons for the changes he made. Change of topic. I see you've escaped the crowds to seek refuge on the second floor. Fame can be overwhelming at first, can't it? Perhaps you'd benefit from hearing about the experiences of a veteran celebrity such as myself.
No thanks, I'm good. Pretty sure this will be my first and last time in this situation.
Hey, at least let me finish. I have top tips on dealing with belligerent reporters, slipping away to hunt down snacks
permission? Tell me everything. First, take a seat, mon ami. We must partake of Hotel de Boer's fine desserts as we talk, lest they go to waste.
Mon ami means my friend.
That was very educational.
Educational isn't the word I'd use. They didn't mention acting once in the whole conversation.
I expect most of the people downstairs have left by now. Time to grab my copy of the group photo and get home.
I feel like this might be the end.
The photo must be in this envelope right here. It's finally over. Thank you for sticking around for so long. If it wasn't for you, I don't know how I would have standby moded my way through the last few hours.
Any normal person would find an event like this stressful, but enough to warrant Lynette leaving halfway through. When you left the event midway, what was the real reason? I mean, if you really don't want to talk about it.
It's fine. It's just... It was such a minor thing. While I was on stage, there was a moment when I felt like someone was looking at me. It was only for an instant, and I didn't even see who it was. But somehow, I knew it was a look of contempt. I got a vague sense of it again during the reception. Like someone was giving me an evil stare. But I couldn't figure out who it was.
If you're enjoying the content, you're looking for a community to call home, hit that Discord link, as we'd love to have you part of our community today. We are currently switching over, well, not switching over, but combining with other communities, and we have a new community coming on board very shortly. Recall something regarding Lynette. Few people would manage to hide their feelings from Lynette at close range. Whoever it was, they must be a good actor.
Normally, I'm used to lurking in the shadows on the stage and spying on other people. So, it was strange, feeling like I was the one being spied on this time.
Could it have been something to do with the original script Farina mentioned? Maybe someone's jealous of you. You did land a leading role in the first show.
Or someone just took a disliking to me for no real reason. Sometimes you can like one person and dislike another for equally pointless reasons. Anyway, it was just a momentary stink eye, that's all. Nothing for you to worry about.
Okay, well, if you're not worried, I'm not worried.
Okay, problem solved. I'm gonna take this envelope and go home now.
You heartless puppet. You've ruined this work. Hand over the role of lead actress immediately. Oh, that's sad. What? It's a threat letter?
You have destroyed this work of art. Step down from the leading role at once. Based on the tone, I'd say threat letter is right.
This is far more serious than a momentary stink eye. We need to get to the bottom of it. Examine the letter to see if there is anything amiss. Think back to what was happening on the first floor while we were talking, taking some time out. There were a lot of people downstairs at the time. Any one of them could have slipped the letter into the envelope. All the envelopes were left on the table on the first floor, but nobody was tasked with watching them. I could ask reception, but it's unlikely they saw anything. Examine the letter to see if there's anything amiss. The unsealed envelope contained the group photo, the threat letter, and some photographs of Lynette from during the show. This was definitely meant for her. The letter demands that Lynette step down from the leading role, but stops short of saying what will happen if she doesn't. Neither of us recognize the handwriting. It's messy, perhaps to cover their tracks, or maybe this person just has messy handwriting.
I don't think we're gonna find any more clues here.
So we ask Moreau what he makes of you have destroyed this work of art?
Yes, let's. Whatever destroyed means, it could have something to do with the original script that Farina mentioned. Also, I'm gonna have to ask you to stick around a while longer.
It's kind of interesting that each story has multiple stories built into it. Kind of cool.
I can't believe how well the whole Lynette's debut acting role thing worked out. Even the avant-garde box office is lapping it up.
That was weird sound. Did it sound weird to y'all? It was like coming in and out. Really weird. It's
How
not boring.
could
True.
I ever have doubted you? If you hadn't stuck to your guns and kept sending those invitations, this opportunity would have passed us by.
You didn't hear it? Oh.
See?
Okay.
I told you.
Which one? This guy was talking.
She'd refused in the past.
It's fine now.
We're all the more reason to keep inviting her, because it turns into a big talking point. Can you imagine if you'd gone with Jillian? You'd have been lucky to get half the ticket sales you've ended up with.
True. Well, Jillian still needs to get a few more productions under her belt.
I wonder who it was that sent the letter.
Do you have a moment, Director Mario?
If it isn't the star of the show. We were just talking about you. Oh, and is that the legendary traveler with you? I'm guessing you're here to discuss the show with the director? Oh, you're a talented and hardworking actress, Lynette. It's no wonder you're getting such rave review. I'll leave you artists to discuss your work in peace. Mario, make sure you give your star performer and her friend your full attention.
I certainly will. Lynette carries the fortunes of our entire troop on her shoulders.
Easy, Stress. That just made her have a heartbreak. Who was that?
Mr. Maloney. An investor or something, I think. I've never asked him.
So, what can I do for the two of you? I'm afraid I'll have to dash soon as I'm meeting some friends from the newspaper. Otherwise, I'd love to stay longer.
We won't take up too much of your time.
We heard that the original script for The Lost Puppet was quite different from the final show. I'm kind of curious to know what the protagonist was like in that version.
Oh, well, this is a surprise. I didn't think you'd be interested in that sort of thing. It's not uncommon for scripts to undergo major changes as they're being brought to the stage. But I'm afraid there's not much to tell you in this case. The protagonist has stayed the same from the beginning to end. A mechanical puppet with a bumbling body but a sensitive soul. A stranger in time who doesn't belong. There's no doubt about it. You are the protagonist, and the protagonist is you. The success of one is the success of the other, and that's what made this show an artistic triumph.
Sorry, you've lost me. Can you put it in plain words?
All right, then. Delving deep in the search of core truths is the job of an artist, after all. You shouldn't give your attention to early drafts of the script, Lynette. All it would do is sow confusion where you already have clarity. The current script is the final version because it is the best version, and your performance best brings that script to life. Why, if it weren't for you, I doubt any audience would give our show the time of day.
If everyone is happy with Lynette's performance, then how do you explain this letter? Yeah, the letter.
What letter? Oh my goodness!
It's pretty bad. Yeah, that's myth.
Destroyed this work of art? Really?
Well, Director Mario, any idea?
Okay, so
who
it's
might
definitely
have
not
written
him,
it?
because he seems just as surprised as we were.
Who on earth would write such nonsense?
We found it in the envelope containing the group photo. Could it be someone involved in production?
Absolutely not. Without Lynette, this show would be over. Everyone's hard work would go to waste. No, there's no way that this is someone from the troupe.
Well, is there any way Lynette could lie low until this blows over?
Yeah, maybe Jillian could fill in for me for a while.
What? No way, out
He's
of
a
the
crazy
question.
person.
The protagonist has to be played by Lynette. Jillian can't. She's just not what the audience is looking for.
Rose's attitude suddenly changed and became a bit strange. Rose's eyes are darting around and he's lowering his voice.
I've got it.
Think it's
It's a
Jillian?
competitor. Yes, this letter must be from a competitor of ours who's trying to get under Lynette's skin. You can't lie low. That's just what they want you to do. The moment you step back from
So I'm thinking
performing, they'll put
maybe.
their rumor mill into overdrive and drag us through the mud. They're just waiting for their chance to kick us while we're down.
A competitor? Really?
Definitely. Those lowlifes. Slander and libel are all their specialties. They drown out the truth with a flood of misinformation, and they stop at nothing once they get riled up.
You sound very familiar with their methods. Do you have a particular suspect in mind?
There's so many of them out there. Fame always seems to attract haters, no matter what you do to try and keep everyone happy. But don't worry, I will get to the bottom of this. Stay strong, Lynette, and keep up the good work on stage. I have to go and meet my friends from the newspapers now, but rest assured, I'll be discussing countermeasures with them.
Okay.
So, a competitor, huh?
Do you think that's it?
I kinda doubt it. We've dealt with those types before. Usually their goal is to steal our venue for their own show, or to cover up a scandal by planting a story to divert public attention. But at the moment, I don't think anyone's got a reason to do any of that stuff. Let alone pull a stunt like this. A threat letter is quite extreme. Besides, when I felt that evil stare, I'm pretty sure it was coming from somewhere backstage. So that rules out a lot of people. I'm actually more concerned about Mariyu. When I mentioned Jillian, his reaction was pretty unusual.
So you noticed that too?
Especially since Maloney mentioned that the initial plan was to cast Jillian as the lead. Sounds like there was an original protagonist as well as an original script. I should probably go talk to her.
Do you know where she lives?
Yep. She told me she lives in the Flow of Sandra.
Oh, I've been there. I have been there. Oh, the door's underneath us. I'm just like, why is it telling me to go right where I was? All right. But we're actually going to stop here before we continue on with this story. Interesting how we had one going to where wildly sticking bags of drugs inside animals to now we're over here with, you know, someone that really doesn't like Lynette in the acting role that she's currently in. And that's only 2 out of the 5. So I'm wondering what other 3 avenues that we have here. So very interesting. And again, you know we have a slew of other characters. Actually, just before we dip out here, how many other characters do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 17 other characters. So we got this for a bit. But yeah, so we'll stop here. We'll come back to Lynette on Friday, where we'll be back on the green screen stream. You'll see me. We'll also be doing our pulls. I didn't do pulls last week, so we're carrying over those Prima Gems from last week. So it'll be nice. It should be a nice pull this week. I think we're at pity 30. We're trying to get ourselves back up so we can do a pull on the weapon to hopefully get one of the weapons that are part of this banner. I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, someone was talking about today is potentially a reset day, which means tomorrow you have the opportunity for the banner to switch over. I think. I might be wrong, though. It's just that we have seven days, so I might be wrong, though. But anyways, oh wait, actually, let's see if we have any of the blues. Oh, we can almost do a blue poll. Hey, we can also do a poll that has nothing to do with Primo Gems. So that's cool. That's cool. But anyways, and yeah, the money shots will be back on Friday. That's it for me. I will see you guys tomorrow for some OGXP back on Black. But until then, whether you guys are online or offline, stay focused. Get yours. See ya.